Guys, one of the things that we love about West Bottoms Whiskey Company is they come out with the most unique bottles.
Trying new things.
All the time. And they're generally really good. I haven't had anything that I've disliked.
Have you mentioned lately that they're also local?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I'm not sure if we've ever heard of West Bottoms Whiskey Company. Yeah, we absolutely love them.
Love it.
We love what they bring to the table. We love what they're doing, and we're fangirling right out of the gate. But every bottle gets it gets its own review, you know, because this one's different than the Wait For Me. It's going to be different than the Convergence. All the things, whatever. We're going to get into that on this episode of Savor the Burn. Let's go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very special episode of the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Across the barrel to me is Mr. W2. How do you do?
I can't quite do that just yet, but I've got the starts of
it anyway. It's there. You can do it. He's fine. He's fine. Tell him he's fine.
The beard's back.
Ladies, tell him he's fine.
The beard's back.
Ooh. Actually, don't do that. Miss Katie might freak out. Nah, she doesn't care. She cares, but whatever.
Right.
I'll let her answer that.
I know what you mean.
Thank you, Miss Katie, for leaving a comment in every video we put out. How cool is that? Speaking of video, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for following along. Be sure to click that subscribe and that bell notification to stay up to date on all things Savor the Burn. Let's just jump right into this bad boy.
Well, let's turn that wheel way back and just mention again. We've mentioned it numerous times at this point, but we got to give a shout out. West Bottoms is a special, near and dear place in our heart because
of Burn the Gates.
Burn the Gates, the band we're in. We were out on a photo shoot day. What he just said.
Yeah, it's like I'm mad at dad. You know, I do the vocals, he does the bass.
We're out on a photo shoot day, and taking photos and all the things, and it's in the morning, and we're finishing up the photos. It's creeping up on like 11 o'clock, and we're downtown Kansas City, and we're like, let's go get a drink. You know, we'll get lunch, whatever. And hey, there's this place down in the bottoms called West Bottoms Whiskey Company.
Yeah,
let's check them out.
Let's go. Yeah.
And so, we all went down there, and we found ourselves at the parlor.
Yeah,
we went up the stairs, the cool little space, and we're looking at the menu, and we're like, what is this here about Kansas City's the best old fashioned in the country or something like that?
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, it's been a while since that day.
And thinking back on there, we hadn't gotten to know the people down at West Bottoms at that point. But thinking back on it, I'm pretty sure it was Cassandra that actually came up and took our drink orders.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was.
I think so.
But we're like, what is this bold statement here about your old fashioned?
Yeah.
And yes, we need one of those, please.
Yes, please. And also the Nocturne Noir, I think. That cocktail.
Yes, the Slow Death.
Slow Death. It was Little Death or something. Yeah, it had like a tiny little rosebud, floating around the top.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That was the start of everything. You know, we're having cocktails. We're like,
we had neat pours.
We're like, wait.
I bought a couple of bottles. I bought cocktails and neat pours for strangers.
It's like, we know what would be cool? We should start a podcast.
Yeah.
We'll talk about whiskey. And then we just kept
bringing it up.
Maybe we should start a podcast. And so anyway, you fast forward.
At least hang out and see how we hang out together.
Yeah. You fast forward, and here we are, 100 and some odd episodes later.
Oh, yeah.
And, into year 3. And, what do we have in front of us? The latest offering from West Bottoms Whiskey Company.
Yep. And they're always coming out with new things.
This one's wax dipped, and it's wax dipped in that cool teal color.
Yeah.
They got some drips going on this.
I remember the Wait For Me had a like a kind of like a rose pink, kind of a like a magenta kind of whatever color to it. The wax did.
There's some cool kind of a silverish inks going on this. The BallyHoo.
BallyHoo. Which BallyHoo is a term that they used to use right there in Prohibition era times. What was the one with the black ink right up there? The American single malt.
The black ink
but the wax.
The black ink is the American single malt. Yes.
Yeah.
Versus the full 750 bottle is their American blended malt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what can you tell me about it?
Let's get into this.
You talk, I pour.
You go ahead and rip into that wax and then
rip it in the Terra.
Bottle pop that.
There's wax going everywhere. That's all right. Let's make a mess out of it. Sorry, Ozzy. Ozzy's the resident feline. The house lion.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say this is probably a composite cork, and that's nothing
fine.
bad with that.
That's fine.
It's just, that's what they typically use on their other ones.
Here we go.
Love it.
Black
composite.
Black.
Love it. So this is the West Bottoms Whiskey Co. BallyHoo Bourbon Whiskey finished in a storied rum cask. And I'm gonna stop right there because it is worth mentioning. This is their first bourbon.
The first. Oh no! Wow. Okay.
So aside from this being a super unique barrel that it was finished in, this is their first bourbon, which means that it's 51+% corn. It is
barrel entry at a certain point.
Yep. It is in New American Chart. Actually, in this case, they only had a single barrel, I think, of this.
Okay.
They finished it in the storied rum cask, but if it's considered a bourbon, it started in a fresh virgin charred oak barrel. Anyway, 95 proof, no age statement. It says West Bottom Whiskey Company has released a limited edition bourbon called BallyHoo, which is finished in a rum cask. The 95 proof bourbon is inspired by ruckus celebrations held before Prohibition and has a unique flavor profile. With fewer than 500 bottles produced, it is a one-time release. A bold bourbon at 95 proof, finished in a legendary rum cask inspired by pre-Prohibition revelry. Ruckus is the definition of BallyHoo.
All right.
It's an adjective, and it means boisterously disorderly. Ruckus implies a loud, harsh, grating tone, especially of voice, and may suggest rowdiness.
Are they talking about our band again? Because that really describes our band. How about in future Burn the Gate songs we throw the BallyHoo in there as a lyric?
So I think somewhere in their social posts, Cassandra, leave us a comment. Correct me, fill in the blanks, whatever. I think in some of their social media posts, they talked about this rum cask had Jack Daniels in it at one point. It had rum in it at one point. It had, I believe it also was used for a cocktail, a barrel-aged cocktail.
How cool is that?
And yeah, all these different things, which are going to bring a wealth of complexity to this flavor profile. All right. That's got a nice nose to it. There is a lot going on.
Right off the bat, I kind of picked up on some of the kind of the rum notes, right? So it's there's some coconut.
I was going to say pineapple and coconut.
Pineapple, okay. And I was thinking the sugars involved with rum.
Maybe some molasses. Maybe some licorice.
Licorice, really?
What about some black cherry?
Pick it up on black cherry.
Got some thick legs going on.
Yep. Got a little something stuck to the side there. I can only guess that came from the whiskey.
Get this
Yeah,
on the
get on the
palate.
palate.
Cheers, West
everyone.
Bottom. Immediately, I got gingerbread.
Gingerbread, guys. This is the bourbon
This is really
This is the
really
bourbon
good.
I've been wanting. Maybe not so much with the coconut or with the rum cask finish or whatever, but like this is the bourbon I've been waiting for West Bottoms Whiskey Company. I've been waiting for you
There's
guys or I've been waiting for them to come out with a bourbon, and this.
there's straight up gingerbread on
Guys,
that
I'm so
palate.
happy. I'm so happy you did this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got okay. So after it's had a chance to kind of sit there in the
You know, you know those little
I am
candy.
picking up on the molasses.
So back to my gingerbread. You know those little sugar candied gumdrops that you use for the buttons when you make the gingerbread man?
Okay.
Those candied gumdrops.
Okay.
As the
Ginger
sweetness.
gumdrops.
Gingerbread and then the candied gumdrops. This is really good. More licorice on the palate.
It's light. It's a light licorice.
It is. There's a little smokiness,
From the wood char.
maybe. I mean, if this barrel had all these different things in there, the char of that inside of that barrel has just saturated all these different flavors.
Oh man, I need a 175 of this.
I'll take a 750.
I'll take a 750. I'll take a 175. I'll take a
Family jug.
I'm gonna have to family side. Yeah. This is guys.
I might have to see about getting another one of these.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to go down there and get this before they're all out. You said it was a limited run.
Oh, hey, you know what? You're in luck. We're gonna be down there next week.
Yeah, that's right. We will be, and 100% looking forward to it.
Yes. Fewer than 500 bottles produced.
Wow.
So if there are any left, it's probably gonna be at the end of the run. And yeah, because of the uniqueness of this barrel, this exact one will not be back.
So, for me, the pineapple, the coconut, the gingerbread,
Clove,
those things,
star anise,
those don't.
and I'll stop interrupting.
No, you're good. For me, those unique flavors that aren't indicative to your regular, bourbon palate, they stop at the finish. And for me, the finish is more indicative of your regular bourbons.
The finish on this
Now,
is
of course, I'm only this far into my pour.
the finish on this is kind of long. I mean, it's a slow taper. It's not in your face and up front, but it is just a nice slow burn.
Yeah,
And
that we like to savor.
I see what you did there.
And it's 95 proof. To me, it doesn't drink like a 95 proof whiskey. It's too. Guys, this is really good. I mean, down here on the finish, I mean, it's like candied orange slices or candied orange peel, I should say, like the garnish, like a candied, citrus or whatever. Actually, I'll just put down orange/citrus. The sweetness though, it carries through. It's so lovely on that finish. God, I really hope with all of my dirty little heart that they come out with more bourbon.
That is going to be a question we need to ask Alex. I am
Yeah.
told while we're down there, we're going to do a tour.
And please bring back that maple cask finish rye.
I think we're going to get some time with Alex and sit down, fire some questions at him. Hopefully, have some pours.
I think the cherry shows up on the finish.
Yeah, yeah.
Just gonna put that out there. There you go. Try it on for size. See what you think.
I like my
while
numbers.
I'm writing
I like my numbers.
my numbers, you said it. Well, I don't know if you said anything. Are there any tasting notes for this yet?
Nope.
No. Okay. Nope. All right.
Nope.
All right. But with those, so we're just enthusiasts. I'm interested to see what the actual experts have to say about what they've found on the nose, on the palate, on the finish.
Not that I'm criticizing, but their website's lacking information on their offerings.
Is that not on the website?
They don't. This bottle is not on the website at all.
Oh wow. It's all over the social medias.
It's all over the social medias. Yeah, their website has their core offerings. It has their Casey whiskey. It has the American blended whiskey and the American single malt. And that's all they currently have on their website. So they have, I think they have taken the rye off because it's no longer technically available.
Right.
The Malbec is no longer on the website because it is very, very no longer available. We missed that one.
Yeah.
Sad face.
Yeah, I'm still upset that we missed that one. It was early on in the podcast, though, and we're like, they'll have it. They'll have it. They did not. Apparently, people tried it and they loved it. They went nuts for it.
So on the back of the bottle here, it says, as the sun set on the year 1919, the people gathered for one last exuberant celebration of spirits.
I'm surprised you can read that. That's so damn small. I was like...
I put my readers on.
Oh, okay.
Mere hours before Prohibition would begin, the excitement of the unknown, coupled with the blending of boozes, gave way to one last over-the-top party. A BallyHoo! I don't know why. I just, every time I see that word and I say it, I have to say, you can't just say BallyHoo.
Right.
You got to say BallyHoo!
There's got to be a little bit of emphasis on the right syllables.
That's right.
BallyHoo!
The spirit of whiskey and the warmth of...
Goth chicks and fishnets?
Camaraderie.
Oh, so close.
The spirit of whiskey and the warmth of camaraderie came together in perfect harmony. The spirit is a catalyst. This spirit is a catalyst for such connection, bridging past experience with future adventure. Rested in a single storied antique cask, which has influenced Tennessee whiskey, that would be Jack Daniels, Barbados rum, and even a mixed cocktail. This unique whiskey's extravagant flavor is nothing short of a, say it with me, BallyHoo! Selected, finished, and bottled by West Bottom Whiskey Company in Kansas City, Missouri. And that website, if you have not visited or you're not familiar with them, is westbottomwhiskey.co. westbottomwhiskey.com also takes you there, but their technical official website is westbottomwhiskey.co. I love this color wax. I absolutely love this blue wax. I love that they chose, it is definitely a silvery, platinum, bluish tint metallic ink that they used. The label is very, very much so in the exact same brand as all the West Bottoms labels, but this is definitely a BallyHoo! Just like Convergence. They really, really played up the font treatment of Convergence for that label. But I like this one. It's BallyHoo, a sip in time. And then we've got hang on, low contrast, got to put the readers back on. We have bourbon whiskey finished in a storied rum cask. Sad face, it is 375 milliliters. But I'm going to get over that because what that means is they just have something else that's coming out before too long.
Right. Like we said earlier, it's such a journey with West Bottoms Whiskey Company, and they're always coming out with something new. It's always interesting. It's always got a cool story behind it. This one here touches on Prohibition. It's got American history involved in it. What's going on?
Well, I got busy talking, and I forgot the fact that I had put a couple of water drops in my glass, and I finally just got it. That gingerbread explodes.
Oh, really? Huh.
If you need to pour just a little bit more and put a couple drops on there,
I
would recommend it because it's a gingerbread explosion.
Oh, wow. Huh. No, so, I mean, I've got like a half-ounce pour.
How many drops you put in there? 2?
Yeah, 2 drops in like a half-ounce pour here.
Get yourself a sip.
And yeah, gingerbread.
It's straight up.
Gingerbread shows up right there on the nose.
It's straight fresh gingerbread.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. That's so wild.
I like gingerbread. Those little gingerbread mans. Mm-hmm. First time I ever saw a gingerbread man. I know it's not the season for it. Christmas season. I consider Gremlins to be a Christmas movie. So
oh, see, I'm thinking Shrek and the little gingerbread man.
Yeah.
with the broken leg.
Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man.
You've probably seen that 1,000 more times than I have.
I love it. I absolutely love.
Shrek's a mighty fine movie. Donkey.
That'll do, donkey.
But yeah, on Gremlins, the mom, she was piping the design on the gingerbread men, and the gremlins were eating them like yum yum before getting thrown in the thing and then microwaved. What a mess. But that's not what this episode is about. I mean, we
digress.
We talk about getting into the weeds on things, and you never know where these episodes are going to take you. So, a little over 20 minutes into it, let's get into the numbers on this bad boy. How we rate these things, we go on a 0 to 5 scale, right? Completely arbitrary. It's all on us as individuals. You would probably do this differently.
My palate's my palate.
Yep. Your palate is your palate, and my palate is my palate. Mm-hmm.
And who am I to say? Who am I to yuck your yum?
Well put. Well put. Yeah. Yeah. You trying to yuck my yum?
Just saying.
You can take that cookie and stick it in your yum.
Stick it in your
stick it in your
cheers.
So anyway, so we do 4 categories, 0 to 5: nose, palate, finish, bottle presentation. Right? We
add flavored starfish.
Hot dog flavored water. We add all those up, possible 20, divide that by 2, and that's how we end up with our final score.
Yes, sir.
By golly. So on the nose, I was like, wow, immediately. And 2, I was like, this is really good. I mean, we picked up pineapple, coconut, malt, grassy, just a touch. I picked that up. Yeah. Sugar, molasses, licorice, a light licorice, and some black cherry, right? So I didn't pick up on the black cherry. I didn't pick up on the licorice. Licorice? How do you say it? Tell us in the comments. So all that to say, I gave it a 4.5.
I met you at your 4.5.
You met me at 4.5? Okay. I'm not really surprised. I am surprised. Like, we used to differ quite a bit. Me, I'm Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky Sunshines and, fucking butterflies and puppy dog tails or whatever. Like, Mr. Positive, like, it wasn't the best, but here we go. Feel free to edit this out.
Oh, no, I'm leaving it all in there.
God bless America. Anyway, so when it comes to West Bottoms Whiskey Company, anyway, I'm a fan. I talked about, maybe backing off of the fangirl and like do an honest review. This is me being honest, guys. This is really good. This is really good.
So good.
So when I say that I gave it a 4.75, a 4 3/4 on the palate, I mean it. Because this on the palate, we had gingerbread, like you said, the ginger gumdrop, the candied ginger gumdrops that you put on the gingerbread men that he knows about that I don't. It had a light licorice, however you want to say it. The char was represented. There's a light smokiness. Clove showed up.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone showed up to party.
For me, some of those standard
BallyHoo style.
Some of those regular flavor characters that you would expect to show up on a bourbon show up here. And I think it's just the right proof too. 95 proof to really showcase.
Oh yeah.
What
I think the proof is perfect.
What this whiskey has to offer. Yeah. I know throwing a couple drops in there really made certain aspects of it bloom. But anyway, what did you give it on the palate?
Well, I gave it 4 3/4.
Wow, really? The same damn score I gave it. So maybe my whiskey enthusiast, hopefully, if you're still watching
I got jazz fingers over here.
You are a fellow whiskey enthusiast. Maybe my palate is starting to become more developed. Finish, caramel. It's when it really showed up as a bourbon for me on the finish. And you know me, I love my bourbons. I love my whiskeys sweet. So
that 95 proof really.
That's a song. I like my whiskey. Neat. That's what they say.
That 95 proof really helps that finish just slow taper on out.
And that's another thing I loved about it. It was a long, slow taper.
Yep.
On the finish. That was one of the notes here. So caramel, long, slow taper. I thought it had some candied orange or candied citrus happening here. The oak was there, and I think that evolved from the char that was on the palate. And cherry, for me, cherry showed up on the ass end of the of the finish. I really liked it. Finish. What did you give it on the finish?
As usual, I came down just a little bit, so I landed at 4.5.
So did I.
Wow.
So did I.
Look at us.
All right, so the only thing that we have left to discuss is bottle presentation, and that's something that we didn't really discuss at all.
So, again, I love this blue colored dip, and I think it plays in wonderfully with the name of it. It plays the choice of this bluish silver platinum kind of metallic ink. It's amazing. I love the monogrammed stamp on the top of there.
Yep.
Side story, the day that this came out, Ms. Katie had an event at work that she had to stay after for, so it was just little man and myself to do dinner, and I needed to swing down to West Bottoms to pick this up. So he got to go down to the parlor with me, and so we walked in, and Cassandra was there, and she saw me coming, and she actually rifled through a handful of bottles to get me a bottle with the best looking drips.
Oh, wow.
Out of all of them.
Well, how cool is that?
And so I thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got that drip, y'all.
It's got a little bit of a drip.
It's got that
drip. It's not quite a maker's drip.
No,
because you can get in trouble for that, so you got to really watch how you let that drip go.
Yeah, especially if you're using red.
This is not red, but I love this. It's not teal, it's not blue, it's just kind of it's not seafoam, it's kind of like right in the middle. It's a great color.
I might call that light blue kind of shiny, shimmery, color they use there is kind of a seafoam, but it's, it's just a little bit blue, a little bit more blue tinted. That's, getting into the weeds, further than we need to get. Plus, I'm sure it's influenced by the, blue lights we have behind us.
And I'm not docking points for it being a 375. I understand it.
Right. If this were a 750, you still got this.
My soul wants this to be a 750.
Girl, same.
But I get it. So I'm not docking it points. But all that to say, my presentation came out to 4.25.
Okay, so you and I, we have the same exact scores on everything. How cool is that?
That doesn't happen often.
It doesn't happen often.
It's happened a couple times.
What I like about it, like if you know West Bottoms Whiskey Company, you know that they have the shouldered flask style bottles.
I mean, the thing with the 375 is
across the board,
it is straight up a flask bottle. I could put that in my back pocket.
Yep. If you have a show that you're going to play at the Harris Casino Voodoo Lounge, and you don't like their the 6 bottles that they have for your whiskey enjoyment.
They do have Fireball, so
they do, but whatever. So anyway, and the wax dip, the wax drip.
Oh, you know what?
I like.
Can I tangent for a second?
It's composite, but it's black. I like that too. I like the monogram stamp on the top. Please tangent.
Because we talked about Voodoo Lounge, which then led us to talk about Fireball, because that's one of their things.
Yeah.
Fireball Whiskey. I watched a thing here recently about various whiskeys. And one of the things that makes a whiskey is it has to be 80 proof or higher.
Oh.
Did you know that Fireball Whiskey is like 60 some odd proof? It's like, I think it's like 65 or 68 proof. So technically,
is it a liqueur?
Fireball, it would be a liqueur. It's not a whiskey. There you go. Back to your regularly scheduled program.
Well, now I want to sue him for what is it? False representation of your product or whatever. sue them, and then we use that money here on the podcast. Anyway, maybe I'd take my truck to the shop and figure out why it is that the back doors collect water every time it rains really hard. I don't understand. But my number 425, just like yours.
Right.
We locked in the same. All I had to do was I had to go back to savortheburn.com/liquor cabinet, go down to American Whiskeys, and I saw where we had done the American single malt, and it's relatively same
I thought
exact
about
thing.
doing that, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to shoot from the hip and see where I land.
Okay,
and
yeah.
Sounds like I landed where I was supposed to. So.
Right, yeah, because we both gave it the same one.
All that to say, I don't know where your numbers landed, but mine ended up being a 9 even.
9 even. Same for me. That was a nice cling.
That was
if you missed it, that was a very nice cling. Go back, rewind if you didn't hear that, and hear it again. Nothing rings out like a Glencairn. That is from Glen to Glen and down the mountain.
I'm going to reach over here. So the official Kentucky Bourbon Trail glass that I just recently picked up, and you guessed it, Kentucky. Finally got this one. I love the shape of this glass. It has the thick bottom to hold on to like a Glencairn, but it's wide mouthed.
Yeah. It's like a squatter, wide mouth.
As a result of that, it's not quite as tall. Let's see how this rings up against a Glencairn. It rings, but it's just a higher pitch.
Yeah, do it again. I'll mute it. Oh, does yours?
Well,
it doesn't.
I don't think that's fair.
It clings.
Mute it again. Because if I clink with this, okay. Well, mine still rings. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Things that nobody but whiskey enthusiasts really think about. Picking up on second nose.
Cinnamon toast.
Oh man, could you imagine?
Am I right?
Yeah, could you imagine like eating French toast with sourdough bread and
and drinking this
and having this right next to it? I mean, this would be a perfect candidate as a breakfast whiskey.
You think I ain't?
Yeah. Oh man.
Guess what for breakfast this weekend?
Whiskey.
Well,
I'll give a BallyHoo to that for sure. This one turned out to be this one turned out to be very, very tasty. West Bottoms Whiskey Company, they know what they're doing, even when they're just guessing, even when they're just messing around on their experimental type things. Like they're not going to release it if it sucks. Yeah. You know, everything that we've had that has been in a smaller bottle, one of their experimental kind of things, it's always been very, very tasty.
Let's think about this and let's do some quick math. So the description that I pulled right off their website says fewer than 500 bottles produced. These are 375 bottles. So if there were 750 bottles, that would be fewer than 250.
That's one barrel. That's one.
Which, if you think about a 95 proof,
they proofed it down.
Just under 250, 750 bottles.
Maybe two.
That is a full 52 ounce. Or 52 ounce. I hope it's more than 52 ounces. Good Lord. More than a 52 gallon barrel.
Yeah.
That is exactly a barrel of whiskey. Which, to that point...
That makes sense, because Jack Daniels wouldn't use a smaller barrel.
Why? West Bottoms, why not use the opportunity to put single barrel on there? Because this had to be this had to come from a barrel, and I think in the description it talks about this unique storied cask. It's coming from a single barrel.
Yeah. Yeah, why wouldn't they capitalize on that?
Maybe the original...
That wasn't what they were going for, I guess, maybe.
It's finished in a barrel. Maybe the original distillant was a blend of sorts that they put in there. You
know, these are questions that we will ask when we're there.
Stay tuned.
When we ask for that, when we get that tour.
We are going to have a tour episode that'll come out at some point.
Yep, and we will be sitting down with Alex, and we'll spend some time with him.
And Cassandra, too.
And Cassandra. How cool is that? Yeah. And we'll definitely pick their brains. And See what's
Hopefully.
what. Yeah, right. Yeah, you all know me. I've got like 20 questions right off the bat. just
Hey,
salt and pepper shotgun
I'm just happy to be here.
Right.
So
right.
However much time, who we have time with.
Yep.
I'm happy
like,
to be
guys,
here.
we got to wrap here in, an hour and a half. We've only got so long. Yeah, absolutely. We got a clock to tell us how much time we've been spending and whatever. Anyway, so.
All that to say.
Right. Do you want to take us out? All that to say?
No.
All right. Well, fine. I'll piggytail off of that, or piggyback off of that. All that to say, guys, this was a great bottle. If you can find it, you know what? Get it. Hit them up, West Bottoms Whiskey Company. Just head downtown, and the West Bottoms, of course.
12th Street Bridge.
Hit them up. Yeah, it's right there.
Turn left at your very first left.
Right how many band photos?
They're next to the Beast.
Have you seen right next to the beach? Yeah, or beast, right around. Yeah, how many band photos have you seen? They're all hanging out on the 12th Street Bridge. The singer before me in Burn the Gates. You guys did one down there. Yep.
On the lower level.
Yep. So, anywho, bringing it back. No matter who you are, where you are, what you're drinking. Hopefully, it's this, and who you're drinking it with. Never forget. Keep on burning.